Hi everyone, it's Agnes and I have got a interview for you today. It's with Rong and she is currently in Germany. Hello Rong.
Hello, Agnes. Hello, everyone. Very happy
Welcome
to be
to
here.
Yeah, me too. We had such an interesting conversation about your journey with work and moving different countries that we said we would do a little interview discussion about that because it was very inspiring when you sent it to me via email and we had a chat. So let's go back on the timeline at the beginning of where you want to start, of when all this started. So what was the first thing that you desired and then you then put into motion to start creating it?
Yeah.
Where were you? What country were you in at the very beginning?
Yeah. So I'm originally from Taiwan, and then I also grew up in Taiwan. And then since I was a kid, I always wanted to live abroad for some reason. Not that I like where I'm from, but I traveled sometimes as a kid, just some little trips, and then I was just really amazed by like how yeah, I don't know, I just always want to live abroad. So that would take just a desire that's unexplainable. And then but I never had the opportunity to really live, or you either study or work abroad. And then I never had the opportunity until I was 21 years old. Like I was already in college and so on. And then that was the year that I had the opportunity to have do like an exchange program in the US.
Okay.
And then that's I moved there for a year for the program. And then during that year, I found out about like a school that was one of the best school for my major in a really good city in New York, United States. And then that they give all their students scholarships. Like you can go to a school for free, and then I really like the school and so on. And then that was one of the moments that you see something that you really wanted. You just like, that's it. That's what I wanted. And then it's just really strong, the desire. And so I decided to apply for it.
Can I ask you, was the scholarship given by the US or given by Taiwan?
Oh, it was given by the US. It's given by the school to whoever goes to the school.
Okay.
And then, but it's also because you have the scholarship, so it has it has a really low acceptance rate. It's just really small and then hard to get in. And but I just and then I thought, you know what, I'll just give it a try. And then like, why not, even if the chance is slim. And then I've always know about The Secret. Like I've read the book long time ago, and then I've always tried to apply it into my life in some way. Like sometimes with success, sometimes without. Like I think, like many people, like you have these ideas and then you'd be like, that's great if it works, and then you so practice it, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But this time I'm also, you just have the spirit of give everything a try because you have nothing to lose.
What did you get a scholarship for? Like, what were you learning?
I'm learning architecture.
Okay.
And then that's like a university degree, so it will be like 5 years.
Okay. Wow.
So it's like 5 years of scholarship. You need to pay for your own living cost. Yeah, but that's right. But that's like, because that doesn't just mean a degree. That also means that you can build a life, like in New York. Like you can build a life in US. You can start your career there. So it means a lot. Like it's not just the degree.
And then you had to work on the side to pay your expenses.
yeah, you have to
Yeah.
have your own, yeah, you have to pay
Your
for
own
your
job.
expense. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you left Taiwan, did you speak English?
I I think like we learn English since fifth grade.
Yep.
But it's like, you had the class like one time a week or two times. And then
Yeah.
you don't, you sort of like, yeah, you watch movie and then there's subtitle, right? Like you sort of like, yeah, I not understand English, but you really don't.
Yeah.
You only really speak it when you're on the ground and then everyone's speaking English and then you have to go through the like, the awkwardness and not understanding like a year
Yeah.
of really extensively using language and then
Mm.
you really speak the language. Yeah.
So you went to the US with what, like 10 or 20% English to then go and study architecture in a language you didn't understand fully.
Yeah, well, I
Wow.
mean, you did need to do some test. I
Yeah.
think all the like international students will know like you need to pass
Yep.
some language tests in order to go to the school, like to get
Yeah.
into the school. And that's another thing I need to work on. Yeah, that's right. Like I had to pass the test first. So it's not just going
Wow.
there, but like you also need to be first like passing certain yeah, there are just certain standard for it, if you will.
Mm. So
Yeah,
what year was this that you first went over there?
that was I think that's 2012. I
Okay.
remember this because that was the year that Obama got reelected.
Okay. Isn't that funny? Because we've
I
got, yeah, the US is right in the middle of the election now.
that's
Uh,
that's right. Yeah.
wow. 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 Okay. So you arrive there and you're there
Mhm.
for 5 years and you do the whole scholarship for the 5 years.
Yeah, and then yeah, I mean I first applied for the school, and then I didn't know if I'll get in, right? And then
Yeah.
so there was a process, there's I prepared for 6 months or something, but during the 6 months, I will go visit the school, like physically, and
Yep.
then although I couldn't get into the building and so on, I'll
Yeah.
go to the gate of the building and then just sort of look inside the glass, like what does it look like inside, and
Yeah.
then I'll go home, and then like before I go to sleep or before I fall asleep, I also imagine like just walking to the building, just
Mm.
like any other normal day of your life, of being a student there or something like that. And then I had like all my laptop or cell phone background, something like set to either the logo of the school or like
Yeah.
or just like the picture of the school, so and so. Like you sort of surround
Mm.
yourself with the idea of being part
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah. That's real living in the end, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a real living in the end. So, how did they tell you that you got in? Was it a phone call or an email, or how did you find out?
Yeah, so after 6 months, like after I submit everything, one time, like I was just like at home, like in front of my computer, and then I just got an email. It's just really odd because these things, these moments you thought so much about, they
Yeah.
just sometimes just happen in like a really regular setting. And
Yep.
then I just got an email and they say, congratulations, we would like to offer you like a position like in the school, and then you'll have scholarship for 4 years and so and so, uh, and then some other things.
You must have jumped around the room with,
Yeah.
wow. Okay, let me ask you, how long did you actually do all those things? Put the logo on your screen, go
Mm.
physically there and look in, imagine walking around. How long did you do that for before you got the news that you got in?
I think um I mean, I think I remember the whole applying process was 6 months. I mean,
Okay.
applying the imagination, but also, because applying for school, you have very specific deadlines. I mean, you have the
Yeah.
dates and so on.
Yeah.
And so I mean, it's always a mix of things. I didn't just sit there and then just only imagine, but I also get my like the test score ready, and then I also put my portfolio together. I also like the school and so on, you know, like it's a mix of things. But I think for the imagination part, I do it as much as I wouldn't do it like religiously every night or so on, but I do it as much as it feel good.
Yeah.
Kind of. And then, yeah, I mean, you obviously still have the anxiety, like maybe this doesn't work, or like maybe I won't get it, or why haven't I heard back? You still have all those things, but
yeah.
Fine.
Wow.
Like do anything to make yourself feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you started the 5 years or the 4 years and you did it. And then at the end, what did you have? You had an architectural degree?
Yeah, at the end, I have a Bachelor of Architecture.
Bachelor of Architecture.
Yeah.
And then what happened after that?
That's right. And then, so then I was very lucky then. I mean, I got a job pretty easily. I really had luck because usually because New York is very competitive and so on. And then, but I got a pretty good job, like through a professor, like who sort of just introduced me there to the position and so on. And then I was lucky in that way, but I actually didn't like the job. I mean, I graduated and worked for a year at a company that I actually didn't like.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting turning
Your English
point.
would have gotten a lot better over that time because you would have had to study for those 4 years, then 1 year in the job.
Yeah.
You would have had at least 5 years worth of practicing English. Your language must have been so much better by then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, working in a foreign language is also another thing that I am continually living. And then so it's really interesting because you just sort of you let go of a lot of things. Like you let go of the embarrassment. You let go of the anxiety of, oh, maybe I'm not sounding professional enough, or maybe this and that, because you have to let go anyways. It's gonna be fine.
And they know you're not a native speaker, so they don't expect it anyway.
Yeah, it's like and then that's true. It's also I think in the US it's a little more common because a lot more people speak English as second language, as other languages. So it's a little bit more common that people take the communication as what's more important than that you speak the language perfectly, like you have the grammar perfect and everything. But it's good letting go of self-criticism, isn't it? Because you think I'm learning, I'll get better, but I'm not perfect. Stop criticizing yourself, I think, is such a great thing. Okay, so you've done your 1 year at a job you weren't really happy with. So what did you do after that 1 year? So after that 1 year, actually come like a very big turning point, because my visa got expired at the end of 1 year, and then like all the immigrants in the US will know, like you gotta enter a lottery to extend this visa. And my company actually sponsored me to enter the lottery.
Yeah.
But I didn't win the lottery.
Okay.
So I have to move somewhere.
To another country.
Yeah, I have to just leave the country. That's what it is.
How much time do they give you to get out?
2 months.
Okay.
I think like after your visa expired, you can stay there. Oh no, you can stay there for 90 days more. But you cannot work anymore. Yeah. You cannot work anymore. You're just staying there as like you're packing kind of.
Packing and getting out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then that was a little bit hard because I mean I after all lived there for quite a long time, and then I was trained there like professionally, like I was anticipating a future there.
And you would have had friends there. You would have had like your whole life was there.
Yeah.
Wow. So once you found out, what did you think? Okay, which country am I going to go to? What was your next thought?
Yeah, I mean, I sort of, I mean, I already was sort of thinking about, what if it doesn't work? And then
Yeah.
you prepare yourself for different options. And
Yeah.
then I, like moving to Germany was already an idea there.
Okay.
Because I was thinking, I mean, if this doesn't work out, it could likely not work out in the US. And then, I mean, I don't want to go back to Taiwan just yet.
Yeah.
And then, maybe I'm still I'm still young enough, or I
Yeah.
still have not I still don't have that much responsibility. I'm still young enough. I have the energy to move somewhere else, and then
Yep.
to somewhere start over, or to learn a
Yeah.
new language. Like, it's not too late. If not now, then
No.
when, kind of.
Yeah. Fantastic. So what year is this now when you're going through this part?
This is 2017. So
Okay.
this is like 2 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was 2 years ago. And then, so after, I ended the job, and then I have the 3 months left. And then I was packing everything, and then putting things into storage and so on, and then just preparing to move to Germany.
Yeah.
And
Actually, it's 3
yeah,
years ago now because we're nearly the end of 2020.
that's true.
It's
That
nearly
is true.
3. Well, it's nearly the end of the 3rd year.
Yeah, that's
So,
crazy.
so you get on the plane and you go, I don't speak German and I'm going to Germany.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's hard to explain. I mean, that was a very funny time point of my life, because I mean, it's also, I mean, because I'm surrounded by people who are more like, you know, professionals, if you will. I mean, they're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
they're more, they have like a career path.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I grew up in an environment that there's more like people with like clear like career path, or they're going to some kind of, I don't know, they will be trained to be lawyers, so it's like they follow a path, really like a straight path.
Yep.
And then the outcome is somewhat more guaranteed. And then this is like, I have like major sort of fighting point with my family when I was like, well, I'm packing my bag and moving to Germany now, which I don't speak the language, I have no job in.
And they're probably wondering what you're doing. What is she doing now?
Yeah, they're like, why are you doing that? Like, why don't you just go,
Come back.
study another school in the US? Yeah, or come back, or go to China or something like.
Yeah.
You have plenty of options. Yeah.
So you get on the plane by yourself. You've had to pack up your whole life and your whole last 5 years.
Yes.
And you just got on the plane with a suitcase. You just took one suitcase with you.
I did. Yeah, I only took one suitcase, because I mean, even I'm not sure if this is gonna work out, because it's a little bit. I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to get a job at all. And then I actually never been to Germany.
What did they offer you? Like, did you have a visa for what and for how long to go to Germany?
I first had like a tourist visa.
Okay. Yeah.
But for 3 months.
Yeah.
You can. It's nice because you can just come here for 3 months, and then you don't need to apply for anything. So that's one of the really good thing about it.
Yeah.
But I'm not able to work though. Like, I'm not allowed to work with that visa.
No. But it's easier once you get into a country to go and find out the next thing, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't know. Yeah, it's better if you're there already and then see what the people like what the weather like.
And if you like it, and if you want to stay. And so once you got there, what were you looking for? Did you go and find out about other visas to stay and work? Like, what did you do?
I mean,
that's what you did.
That's what I did. I first, because I arrived there here, and then with just like, I booked 10 days of Airbnbs.
Yeah.
And then so the first thing is to find a place to live, just to start some kind of like a life here, and then sign up to the language school.
Yes.
Also. And then just slowly seeing like if this is a possibility, kind of.
Yeah. And the language
Yeah.
school was close to the Airbnbs you were staying in at that time. You booked it near there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow, yeah.
Okay. So you did that for how long? The language school and all of that?
So the language school was 6 months.
Okay.
I did that. Like that's like you go to a language school 4 days a week.
Yeah.
And you learn the language, and then in the off time, I will keep applying for jobs, because there are jobs that that just require English, that doesn't require German.
Yeah.
And I'll
So,
keep doing that. Yeah.
Rong, how did you go from I've got a tourist visa for 3 months to staying 6 months? Did you get a bridging visa, or what did you get after that?
I got another some kind of language learning visa. And
Okay.
then there's different kind of visa of different limitations. And then
Yes.
but
Yeah.
after the 3 months, I was thinking like, okay, this maybe we can make this work. So then I changed my visa to some like language learning visa.
Yeah.
Which is longer. And then
What was that, 6 months, did you say?
that's actually 6 months. Yeah.
So I gave you an extra 3 months.
Oh no,
You were just
like
going like
yeah, it's just the language learning visa. I won't bore with the detail, but it's like 6 more months.
Okay.
So I was able to be here for like 9 months.
Oh,
And
the
then
three,
in total.
original 3 plus the
Yeah.
6. Okay.
Yeah.
So you finished the language school,
Mm-hmm.
and then what did you do?
So I think so in this year, like what's more relevant to like setting your goals or like trying to manifest what you want, it's like I think it's partially like I know I mean I have to get a job to stay, to have a reason to stay, have a visa and so on. So
Yeah.
that's my goal. And then so I'll always, I mean, I always write down like what is that what I want. Like I'll make a list of what it is that I want, and then just to help focusing. And then when I feel better, and then sometimes I don't feel so good about this whole situation of this
I bet.
uncertainty, and then I'm just living on my savings in a country that the language I don't speak and so on. And
Yeah.
then in that case, when I don't feel so good about this whole thing, I would just think, well, it's all right. Like if we get nothing out of this, we at least learn German for some time.
Exactly. So, okay, so now it's 2018 then, because it's 9 months later.
It was, yeah, but I
It would
think
have been
I only moved like 2017. I think September. So that was.
okay. So you're now nearly at the end of 2018 then.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, let me ask you, where did you end up living? Because you were in Airbnbs,
Yeah.
learning at the language school.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you go after that? Like, where did you live after that?
I I found like I was living in share flat. I then
Yeah.
found like a share flat with some guy.
Yeah.
It just all sounds really sketchy, but it's real. I mean, they're all like good people. It's just because I mean I'm here new, and then they all question like, what are you doing here? Because it's Germany after all. Like they want to know what you're doing here, and then if you have a job and income and everything.
Of course.
But
Yeah.
it's like in this situation, you find people who are more flexible, or
Yes.
who are more curious, or who are more like interested in new things and so on.
Yeah. Did you find the flat before the job, or the job before the flat with these people?
The job is way later.
The job was way later. Okay, so you found a place to live, and then you started looking for work in architecture?
Yeah, because that's a because you need you sort of need to be putting into a box with like these things like visa, because like they want to know if you're like if you're a technical worker, or if you're an artist, or if you're something. So I mean, for my best attribute will be my skill in architecture.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for a job as an architect.
Okay.
And, yeah.
How long did it take you to find the job after you moved in with these people?
I think that's 10 months in. Yeah, actually 10 months in. 10
Your,
months in.
your German would have been a lot better by then too.
It was, but yeah, that's a funny story there because I I went to like German school for 6 months, and then at the end, um, and then another 2 months, 8 months in or something, I took like an exam,
Yeah.
um, and I passed it. That's like, yeah, I mean, I think usually would like learning language would have take much more time, but I
Yeah.
was sort of like, I have a timeline, like I don't have that much time.
Yeah.
So
So
I
you
was
did
just
it.
running towards the end line.
That's
And
fantastic. You're so adventurous, Rong. It's like, right, one suitcase, let's get on the plane. I don't know this country. I don't know this language. I don't know how I'm going to get a job, but I don't care. I'm still going. You have such a great sense of adventure, and you just kind of jump and stitch the net on the way down.
well, no, thank you for saying that. I mean, I'm happy that it worked out, but I think
Yeah.
I think that's a really um, what's relevant in the story, maybe to people who are listening, is that like because we're living in a time in a lot of uncertainties, and
Yeah.
then it's like how do you still feel good in uncertainties, and then
Mm.
still sort of not losing your balance when a lot of things are unknown.
Yeah.
And then I think that was the biggest thing I learned from this year, looking back. And
Yeah.
then I still try to, I mean, although I need to learn German really fast, but I mean, I enjoy learning the language. It was a lot of fun.
Nice.
And
I
then,
think that helps when you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, it takes a long time. But if you
yeah.
enjoy
Mhm.
learning and enjoy learning languages and that language in particular,
Mm.
oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've
Yes.
moved in with these people.
Uh-huh.
You've got you while you're still living with them, you got a job,
Yes. Yes.
and then
Yeah.
somewhere. Okay, tell us a bit about this next job, and then
Hmm.
obviously you moved out on your own because you wanted.
Yeah.
So go ahead. You continue.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So after, I think like slowly when my German gets better, and then I also start getting more and more interview like invitations.
Yeah.
Um, and then this particular job, which is my current job, um, was actually so I got invited for the interview, and then because my English is still better than my German, right? Because I speak and learn it for afterwards much longer time.
Yes.
And then, so usually when I go to these interview, and then they will ask me if you want to speak German or English, and then I
Okay.
would, say in German, I would just say, well, I speak German, but like my English is really better, so I would appreciate it if we can do it in English, and then we'll carry on with English.
Yep.
And then with this job that I have now, because I think my boss English is not good, so he didn't ask me. He didn't ask me if I want to do it in English.
Yeah.
Um, and then so we carry on with just having the interview in German. And then the whole time I was screaming inside. I was like, oh my God, this is really happening. I can't imagine. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but then we had a really good conversation because he also understand my German. That's also very, yeah,
Okay.
I appreciate it. Like it's not easy
Yeah.
to understand like when someone's learning a language, like
Yeah.
they're in process of it.
Yeah.
It take effort from both sides to sort of
It
like
does.
communicate. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Wow.
yeah, so yeah, so
So you had the interview, and obviously you got the job.
yeah,
That yeah.
yeah, and then he's
Uh,
like very supportive with all my visa thing because there's also processing to go through and so on. Like he
yeah.
was just really great, and then he even paid for my German class afterwards and so on. Like that was
Wow.
really really
Nice.
nice. Yeah, he's
And
really
you're
nice.
still there at this job.
Yeah, I'm still there.
Yeah. And how long have you been there now?
It's like a little more than 1 year now.
Wow.
So yeah, it's
Nice.
really great because um although it's challenging because the job is in German, like everything's in German, so obviously I
Yeah.
struggled
Yeah.
like during my everyday life. but
Yes.
but my colleagues are really, I mean, they're really nice. And then so you also, I mean, you only learn it even more like through, you just need to use it every day, every
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
um
Bit by bit.
yeah. And
Mm.
yeah, so yeah, I appreciate it very much, because if I had take a job, if I have taking a job that's in English or something, I wouldn't have the opportunity to
Mm.
improve my German more. And
Yep.
so yeah.
It would have been harder in the short term, but more beneficial in the long term. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're at that job. That's all working out nicely.
Yes.
So what happened with, you were living with the other people and you then wanted to live by yourself?
Yes. Yeah, I think I think eventually you come to this point that because I mean the whole time I was in New York, I'm sharing flats with people, like you share
Yeah.
space and so on, which, with, it's nice because you get to know people and then you share
Yep.
life together. But I think as like my life is sort of stabling down here, like slowly, and then as my language getting better, and then I sort of started to feel that I'm able to have my own place. Like I'm able to take care of an apartment by myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I started to look for a flat here in the city. And then, but it was one of those situations that I said, yeah, I'm going to look for a flat for my own. And then everyone around you will just say, oh, yeah, it's so hard. It's, it's impossible. It doesn't exist anymore. Da, da. And then they'll start to tell you, like, I mean, because you live in London and Sydney, it's like
Yeah.
a big city thing. They'll just tell you
Yeah.
all sort of horror story of
Yeah.
how like the rent is really high, and then
Mm.
also, I mean, I don't know, everyone just have so many horror stories about it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, well, that's what you believe. for
Yeah.
my for my own purpose, I'm not gonna subscribe to that.
Nope. So what did you
Yeah.
do? Did you write a list or did you visualize, or what did you do to get the
Yeah.
apartment?
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I definitely, yes, because I was living in like a shared flat before, and then it was a lot of time like it's loud, and then I don't have my own space.
Yeah.
I need to, like when you want to use bathroom, there's someone in the bathroom.
Yes.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, I know. How many
Yeah.
people were you living with in that flat? How many of
That
you?
it was actually just me and then a mother and a son.
Okay, so three
Uh,
of you.
Three
Yeah.
of us, but like they have lots of friends and visitors.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
really nice people. I mean,
Yes.
we're in good terms. Like I appreciate many things about them. Oh,
Yep.
still like we're in good terms till this day. It's just, I mean, I still
Nice.
want space to myself.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Especially
Yeah.
when you're working a lot, you just want to come home and not talk because you've been talking all
Yes.
day. And yeah, of course, it's not personal to people. It's just what you need
Yeah.
as a human being. So, okay, so
Yeah.
you start looking for the flat,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then what did you do for the flat? You started. Did you
Yeah.
what
It's really
practices,
nice.
techniques did you do for that?
I did. I think I'm not even sure where to find anymore, but I noticed the things, in my like previous living situation that I didn't
Yep.
like it's loud, and then I need to share bathroom with people, and then you just turn it around into
Yep.
things that you want,
Yep.
and then just say, oh, I'm so happy that I have, my flat is so quiet now, and then I can play music or I can play whatever I want, because I'm not sharing it with anyone. Or,
Mm.
I'm so glad now I can use the toilet anytime I want.
Yes, isn't that is just when you've lived with people, isn't that just a
Yes,
luxury?
I know. I'm so happy every day in the morning that I can just do
You
my
just
thing.
go in and brush your teeth whenever you want. Yeah, I know.
Yes,
It's just like, oh, I appreciate. I'm so
yes.
grateful. Oh,
Oh my
that's
God.
wonderful.
It's so beautiful. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so I think, so you just take the thing that like what bothers you and then turn it around.
Yep.
and then just look at the things that you want.
Yeah.
And then and then so that's actually it. And then I apply for, then I think the whole process take like 2 months or something. And then I apply for flats, got some rejections, have some viewings and so on, like all the all the mundane things.
Yep.
And at the end, I viewed an apartment. Like I sent in the request for viewing an apartment like on Tuesday, and I got a reply on Wednesday from the management company and say, can you come view like on Thursday, and then come on Thursday to view the apartment and then submit the document and everything.
Yeah.
And then on Friday they say, can you come in and then sign the contract? And so when it actually happened, it was really fast.
Really fast. Isn't that always the way? Like once you get really clear about what you want, it often does happen quick.
Yeah.
Are you near work? Are you closer to work than you were?
I'm not closer to work than I was. I actually stay in my neighborhood because I really like my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And close to my old flat actually,
Yep.
which is exactly, my God. I mean, I cannot tell how much this is exactly what I wanted. I mean, it's exactly. I'm still in the same postal. What's that postal code?
Yep. Yeah.
And then like because my friends are still are all living in this area, and that was important to me.
Of course.
I'm still in good relationship with my previous flatmates, and I'm close to them, which is nice because we can take care of each other.
Lovely.
And then it's like a space that's just like a perfect amount of space for one person, like myself, and then that I can take care of. But it's also big enough for everything that I like, all my activity can fit into the space.
Yeah. Do you rent furnished properties, or was it empty?
Oh, it was empty though. It was
okay. So you had to buy a bed and a couch and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. I need to start owning things.
Yes, start again owning things. Yeah. I'm in London where I am now. When I first, because I was renting Airbnbs as well, like you, and then I ended up, I got a permanent place to live after that. But I rented in London. They rent a lot of places furnished because people come and go from London a lot. So I rented a flat, and it had this not my style of furniture, let's say. So I've been here 3 years, and now I contacted the management and I said, look, I really want to get my own furniture. Can you pick stuff up as I buy new things? Can you pick stuff up? They said, yeah, no problem. So I'm nearly finished buying one thing at a time,
Yeah. Nice.
And it's wonderful to just have the stuff that you like, and so it's good. It makes you feel more like you and more like home. And
definitely.
Rong, what an amazing story. Honestly, you have just, so in terms of visa now, because you've got a full-time job and you've got an apartment, what have you got a visa for 2 years, or what have you got now?
I have now I have a visa for 3 years.
Okay.
Which is, I'm really grateful that I've arrived here. Like looking back, like not winning the lottery. In the States, and then that was some kind of blessing in disguise, if you will. It also it makes a lot of sense. Not that not that I want to leave the country. I still like it. I still have lots of friends there, and I also really appreciated that. The fact that I was able to go to school there at all for that amount of time, and then just I had a really, really good time there. And but also like I sort of was being pushed to make this jump, kind of. And then now like living here, and then having this job, and then I have much more security, or I'm much more rooted actually than I ever was before.
Well, it makes sense because you've now finished your studies, you've now worked in one place, so you've got some experience. So like it now, if you wanted to take off and go and live in Canada or something, you've got a really good career history from the study you did to then the work you did. It all goes together and it shows a timeline. So I think it's, the more you have a history of work in a particular industry, you're much more able to be secure somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's so wonderful. I mean, isn't it, because I move around, as well. I'm in England and I go back to Australia. My family's in France. So I move around and it's so wonderful enjoying different cultures, different languages, different food, different people, different places to go to, for coffee or for a lunch or whatever. It's so wonderful having that fresh adventure all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I definitely, absolutely. I think that was the biggest reason that I thought maybe I'll try, move to Germany. Or try moving to Europe, because it's like, you learn about a new culture and then through the language and different people that have different perspective of looking at things, and then the city is different. It's just I really really enjoy that. And
I understand. It's some of us just have that in our bones, just the desire for that, not being stuck in the same place doing the same thing with the same, or for your whole life in one place. Some people love that and there's nothing wrong with that, but for some of us, we'd love to move around, and it's a lovely thing. So what a great story. Now, is there anything, because I know you wrote some stuff down, was there anything else you wanted to talk about or share that you thought you wanted to say to the viewers, or have we covered it all?
I think in terms of manifestations, that's all actually. I mean, because it's I did some reflection, through this whole thing. I think because it's you can always count your manifestation. Like you can always count, like, oh yeah, I got this job, I got that, I get this. It's like it's countable. But I think the most important of all is that you have the ability sort of to make yourself feel better right now. No matter the situation. Because situation can be changed really just like that. It can just be changed within seconds or so.
For sure. But you got to get yourself, your mind right, and what you're focusing on right. Like you just went like 1 inch. Let me get to Germany with my suitcase. You book the ticket. Then you get to Germany and you go, okay, let me find a place to sleep for one night. Then the next day it's like, okay, let me book something for a bit longer. Okay, now I've got a tourist visa. Well, I'm here. Let's see if we can change. So you just went 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. And then you slowly, the freedom got more and more and more and more.
Yeah, no, that's
it's
right.
It's
so
absolutely fantastic. You're a wonderful example of a turtle rather than a rabbit.
Thank you.
You're a good turtle, Rong. You're a good turtle.
Yes, I'm climbing slowly towards the next thing.
Slow, steady.
That's right. But but that's like, I think like many things, like how you sort of get to where you are now. I think in terms of your career, if you were career or like your path of going through life, you sort of, you have a vision of like, oh, it would be nice if I can live like freely in the world anywhere I want, and have my own business and so on. But like if you're sitting in a job that doesn't allow you that freedom, it's like a bit frustrating to see the comparison, to see the contrast. But if you just take it a little bit at a time. Okay, I'm in this job now, but maybe I have the weekend, I can do something towards that. And then just do it a little bit.
Exactly. And I did a YouTube a while ago called Kaizen, and
Yeah.
it's a Japanese system or method of
Mm.
doing very small changes over a long period of time. So whether you're losing weight or saving money or
Yeah.
whatever you want to achieve, studying and then getting, your degree or whatever, it's you're doing a little bit, and you don't do too much. So it's not this big change. And then eventually you end up where you want to go with no stress. And it's like you've done those little changes, and I have too, just slowly, because it's the same. When I injured my back, I remember thinking, oh, okay, this isn't great. And then I thought, hang on a minute, let me learn something while my back's injured. So I did my coaching course, and part of my coaching course was doing a couple of YouTubes as an assignment. I had no idea. I had no intention of doing YouTube. So that opened a little door, and then that little door, then people started watching those, terrible YouTubes I did at the beginning. They were so bad. So, but it was just like, let me just do these quick so I can finish my assignment. I wasn't going to set up a YouTube channel. So it just opened a door, and then from that it started this, and then, so it just, like you say, you not being able to stay in the US because you didn't win the lottery, opened up this whole other world, because that was a no. Yeah. And me injuring my back and not being able to continue doing that creative work that I love doing, all the beautiful displays in interior design, that, because I couldn't move to lift anything, it made me stop and look after my body. But then it was like, okay, well, what am I going to do? I can't lay here all day. I've got to do something to take my mind off. My back hurts or whatever. So what am I going to learn? What am I going to do? How am I going to keep my mind busy? And then all of a sudden it starts to carve out something new.
Yeah.
It's so exciting when it's like, oh my God, like what? Wow. Like I tried that and it worked.
You also only see that like
later
on. That's right. Like you don't say, I'm gonna set out to achieve this of mine. It's
no
too heavy, but
it's
you
too
can
big.
turn things it's like, and then sometimes it overwhelms you. Like it's also with the thing of writing, like say manifesting your dream job, quote unquote. And then sometimes you write all the things down. Yeah, I'm gonna make so much money. I'm gonna have all the freedom, all these holidays and so on. And then it could be overwhelming sometimes, because then you look at this list of your dream job ever, like best job ever, and you just sort of realize how much you don't have it. So like sometimes that doesn't help to look so far ahead.
I agree.
If you can find things that you can do right now towards it,
just a couple of little things today and a couple of little things this week. Yeah, I agree. It makes it much less like in your head you go, okay, I can achieve that for the day or for the week, but I can't move to Germany, find a flat and find a job today. But I can certainly I can certainly look at how to get to Germany, maybe where to learn the language, and then work out how to pay for my flight on the 1st of May or whatever. That you can do today. So it's breaking it down. I think it's doing little things that the turtle way, I think, is an amazing thing.
I agree. I definitely agree. I also need to how do you say, like, credit that back to my mom, because she's a very powerful woman. And she's also very practical in many ways. And then she's very practical in the sense that she doesn't so dwell on the thing that doesn't work so much. Like if you say, for example, your back got injured today, and then for the job, so you couldn't do it. And then there's a tendency in people sort of like dwell on that pain and then be like, oh, like, oh, it sucks, and then like my health insurance doesn't cover it. I don't know, and then say, oh, my import import, like my boss was such, so and so, and so on. But like she sort of take that as like, yeah, that happened. Okay, but what are we gonna do about it? And what do we still have apart from that?
Exactly.
And
what can I do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. So exciting. So exciting. It's so lovely to try. Let's just try. Let's just see. Let's have a go. Let's see where this goes. And like you said, okay, if this doesn't work, well, I've still got Taiwan. I've still got my family, my friends. I'm not going to die. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We'll go back home and we'll think of something else. So
yeah, absolutely.
It's like, this isn't the only thing. I think when you get this thing that there's only this, and, so if you can do that where you say, yeah, let's try about this with kind of a relaxed attitude, it seems to work out better than when you go, I have to have this or I'm not going to be happy,
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's such an important point for many, many things. Like, for, like, when I was living with other people, and then you feel sort of like, oh, I need to get my own flat now. Like,
trapped.
Yeah, and then that's something you need to work with to, first of all, sort of ease that feeling of you need something right now.
Exactly.
Otherwise, that doesn't work.
Yeah, Rong, I think that's really important, because it's like that thing is to put more pressure on it. But if you can pull back and say to yourself, I'm going to relax and release this frustration. I'm going to relax and release this feeling, because we're so geared to try and push and force as human beings and think we've got control when we don't. We can influence, but I think the influence, if you can do it in that soft, relaxed, open-handed way, you get so much better results.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you, darling.
Yeah.
So lovely. So lovely. So lovely. I'm so excited to have heard the whole journey, like, because there were so many points where it was like, okay, what's next? Like, okay, I don't know, like, it was big turning points and big forks in the road, and lots of insecurity of what's going on with a visa, what's going on with a job, what's going on with where I live. There was lots of insecurity, but you just kind of tried to keep yourself as steady as you could, and you got there. You really got there. So it's wonderful. Thank you for coming and sharing that amazing, what an adventure since 2012. It's been 8 years of adventure.
That's right. Well, thank you. I appreciate, thank you so much that I get to be here. And I'm really happy.
It's lovely.
Yeah, just everything.
I think this will inspire those that are really, oh, should I do that? And I don't know if I can, and I'm a bit scared and all that stuff. I think this story will inspire those that are a little bit sitting back on the edge and not sure about things. If they'll see that if Rong can do it and do it an inch at a time, then it's possible for me too, it is possible.
It's the little steps.
It's the little steps. Yeah. The turtle wins the race.
That's right.
All right, darling. Do you want to say goodbye to everybody? And then I'll say goodbye, and we'll say bye in private.
Yes. Goodbye, everybody. Good luck to you all.
Lovely. Bye, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this fabulous adventure, and that you're inspired to step into your own adventure. If you've got one that you've been thinking about, I hope this inspires you to do it. I'll see you, as always, in the next YouTube or interview. One more thing. I'll put Rong's story. There's another story, and some dream job success stories. There's also some dream home success stories playlists. So I'll add all that relevant stuff down below.